Filled. Order filled.
What's up, guys? Uh, Welcome to another video. Another fucking beautiful day. I mean, I took one trade, got stopped out initially on the same trade because I had hard stop set in, and I think I got in a little late. But regardless, up 1,000 on the day. If you have ever seen my videos before, you can tell that when there's days of trend lines, I'm super interested. This is like just like my bread and butter every morning, right? This 5-minute trend line in the pre-market. This is my bounce level. I'll get into how I found that. Let me start writing this down because I tend to say, oh, I'm going to talk about this and then never do. So, um, 5-minute, the bounce level, and then I guess I'll talk about my reject. So, if you have ever watched my videos, you can tell that at least the past, I think 2 days are been break and retest trades. That's something you could probably take right now, or if some of you have taken it already, would be playing out right here. Right, look at that strong sell candle, and let's see if later in the video ends up flushing. But going into today, how I found this level was simply like this. Get a resistance, break above, get a few bounces, and then next time we reach this level, we get a few more bounces and an extension up, break below, retest, and flush. So something I keep on watch. I think this was noticeable on the hourly. I'm very big on charting on the hourly and the 15. These body of candles were super interesting to me for the past couple days, so I kept that on watch. Now, if you were to like ignore this part and forth to the right, specifically on just this candle, on this body holding, and then these holding below, same thing going down forth. Um, I mark my levels on where prices reacted. It could be wicks, it could be bodies, but where there's a definitive line. And then if you saw my video yesterday, how accurate that was on SPX, like literally to a T, right? So that's why I had marked that level, and coming into today, look, it's starting to play out. Probably should have taken it honestly, but I was so satisfied with that one trade, and after being had stopped out on the first trade being the same trade, I was like, I'm done. It's Friday. On Fridays I don't expect more than one technical to play out. Um, so uh, as you saw, I went 4 deep. Why? Because we had this strong reaction candle off the open, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait for the pullback. Hopped in, initially got stopped out, but then hopped in again. And what was my price target? If you saw in the recording, it was specifically, I mean, it was top to bottom in the first 20 minutes, right? Where is the thing? So, had my level marked out here. If you want some justification. I didn't post the I didn't post the picture, but I had that level marked out an hour ago. Actually, hold on. Had it written down. Main watch on SPY will be this 60598 an hour ago. It's now 9:54. You can see it right here. So around 9 o'clock, right? 60598 right here. And if you saw in the video, I had this marked out as specifically your price target because price just tends to move, like you'll hear like from level to level, or to me technical to technical, as far as the first up until maybe 10:30, probably 11 you're starting to gamble goes. I believe that there's only like one or two technicals that will play out cleanly. After that you're just gambling. So this was my level that I had found. It was off the open, got the nice reaction, waited for the pullback, entered in. This was my price target, fully out there. Now, why I fully got out was because in most cases, most people wouldn't have seen this right away, but what they will see is this. And here's another play you could have made. Um, you see these candles, how they had a strong push down? You have this top to bottom sell off, and you get this Fibonacci retracement pullback for a flush, right? Now, I didn't notice that right away, to be honest. I wasn't watching the market in the last like 30 minutes from 9 a.m. to 9:30 because if I do that, then I tend to get sucked into the markets. I completely disassociate myself from the markets from that time. Another reason why I think it flushed from there was also right here, from this impulse down to pull back up, and it really tried. But I felt like this bounce level was so strong that I was, after I saw it, because you see me pull up the fib tool, that I was like, okay, I believe this is so strong. I think this is gonna push through it. I've seen it happen before. It was just too much of a demand level. So hopped in, had my price target, and was like, all right, I'm done. As far as what I wrote, the 5 minute chart, I always look in the pre-market if there's some sort of trend line happening overnight or in the pre-market. It just tends to happen often, not every day, but very often, and I've just learned to use that in conjunction. Um, the bounce, and I guess I could talk about the reject. My main watch for the reject was on SPX 6091. I guess I'll go over how I chart again. Uh, so let's say we're taking this away, right? What I'm looking for is where did we start rejecting, right? Now, normally some people, I think when I first started charting, it would be up here, like, oh, this is the top, right? No, not really. Once you have some experience, you'll realize that when we reach a rejection level, it kind of spikes over. So more than likely, this was probably a better uh, place to reject that, but even then, it doesn't seem like it has a lot of history behind it. So maybe here. But then what about these candles down here? Okay, now this looks a little bit better to me. Why? Because it's simply how you see it on SPY, where you kind of get this break below, retest, and then flush. But over here you see the support. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. So we get this break below, up, and where does it start flushing again? Pretty much right here. You kind of get this break below, pull back, and flush. And then when I like say like right here is where I see the strong reaction, that's where I feel like that's a better place to place a reject level. For example, right? Was that 6091? Let's just do some undo and see if I charted it the same. Yeah, literally the same. Um, Now the difference when you chart this and try to play like this, you realize that these are very break and retest levels. They're not just all-time highs or reject. It's a level that you have to play it like a break and retest. So I'm gonna chart it the way that I trade, and yeah, I mean you have to trade what's comfortable with you, and to me that's comfortable. It's not trying to reject all-time highs. It's what previous data has showed me before, and that's how I play it. Now another thing you see is that I wrote 15-minute candle hold. Um, these hourlies are too far away from the level for me, and the 15 just looked more definitive. So if I were to get a 15-minute candle that looks something like this, right on the level, I'll go short. If unless it meets that criteria and we're not in confliction with anything else, like QQQ is not at a bounce level or whatever it may be, um, unless it's specifically that and nothing's fighting me against it, I'll hop in. That's part of trading your plan, knowing the way you trade, and knowing your confidence in what you've seen before. Uh, but yeah, that's pretty much all that I have written down for now. If there's anything else you want me to talk about, let me know.